Hi, my name's Leo and I'm a boat builder and a sailor. A few years ago I bought a very old and quite famous wooden sailing boat for the price of $1, and since then I've been rebuilding that boat from the keel up with the help of a lot of amazing people. Now in this video we're going to be trying to solve the problem that we identified a couple of weeks ago, which is that our gearbox ratio is not matched to the size of our propeller. It's trying to spin the propeller too fast for the size. The propeller's too big, it's causing too much drag, and it's not letting the engine get up to its proper RPM. Now before we get right into how we're going to try and solve that, we're going to look at another job that we've been working on recently, which is getting all the navigation lights on Tally Ho up and running. So right now I'm working on Tally Ho's running lights. Now obviously all vessels at sea have a variety of lights to show what sort of vessel they are and what direction they're going, or rather what part of the vessel you're looking at. For example, there's a port running light which is red and starboard running light which is green on respective sides of the vessel. If you see a green light, you know you're looking at the starboard side. That helps you determine which way it's going and so on. So they're really important. Tally Ho's running lights are mounted on these light boxes or light boards, and this is a very traditional way of mounting running lights. In the old days these would have been paraffin lamps in here, but now we have LED electric lights which are brighter and more reliable. Now the box serves to actually limit the sector from which you can see this light, so it stops the light being seen from the wrong angle basically, so you can't see this green light from behind or from the wrong side of the boat, which is really important because it would be really confusing if you could to other vessels. It also stops the light from blinding the person on the helm. And I'm just lashing these to the shrouds just using some seine twine and a double constrictor knot, and I'm using these heaving mallets which were kindly lent to me by Bob. And the purpose of these mallets is to basically just haul on two lines really hard, and they use just the leverage of the handle and the two barrels working with each other to put a tremendous amount of force on two lines pulling away from each other. And using that with this double constrictor knot, which is a very effective knot, we can make it so tight that this knot can never be undone, and that's why I'm able to cut the tails so short. The only way to get this knot off is to cut it, and it can actually be cut on top without endangering whatever's underneath the knot, which is another nice feature of it. And in fact this knot can be used to replace hose clamps if you're in a pinch, and all sorts of other really useful things. So that said, I've got a few more of these to do, and then this wiring is just temporary. That'll get redone, and then we'll have running lights. Pretty strong. I'm keeping on the edge of that. A little bit different scene from yesterday when we were sailing. We were very excited. Now it's early morning, but still feeling good. Looking forward to getting this engine prop issue sorted out. Okay, so you may be wondering, why on earth are they pulling Tally-Ho out of the water again? Well, I want to remind you briefly about our prop gearbox issue. Basically, due to a communication error several years ago, we ended up with a different gearbox than the one we thought we were going to have. We'd made all our plans around a slower turning gearbox, but we ended up with a faster one. And so our propeller is too big, basically. Now, the solution is to either change the propeller or the gearbox. We can't leave it as it is because it'll void the engine warranty and we're not getting the full power that we should be getting out of the engine. Now, before making that decision, I wanted to really understand what difference it would actually make to the torque we were getting, to what difference it would make to the boat under power, and so on. So I went to someone who is really well qualified and really experienced enough to understand how that actually works and do the calculations to give us some hard numbers. That was really interesting and really useful. Now, you may have guessed by now which direction I decided to go, but if not, you'll find out very soon. Woohoo! Alright, this is the Max Prop 4-bladed feathering propeller. Definitely a little smaller, which is what we need. And definitely feathering, which is also what we need.
Hey, look at those arms. That was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Homemade prop puller. It's not pretty, but it worked good. So close. You got any more?
Yep, right there.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Good?
Yep. So, as you can see, we decided to change the prop, and there's a lot of reasons why. I could go on and on about them, but the short reasoning is that it's the easiest, quickest way to go sailing this summer, which is really important to me. Changing the gearbox would be a lot more work, and technically it might end up in a slightly better result, but we actually did the calculations, or rather someone much cleverer than me did the calculations, and we only lose 3% efficiency by going to a smaller, faster prop. So you know, it's common knowledge that a larger, slower prop gives more torque, but it's hard to actually quantify how much more torque and in what situations, and so we actually found someone who was you know, qualified and able to do the maths on that, and we found out it's only 3% in this specific situation. So I'm happy with that, and if we feel like we're underpowered and we want to go to a bigger prop and a slower gearbox, then we'll change it out next winter, which is definitely a possibility. But for now, I think this new prop's going to work really well, and we're going to turn it around, be back in the water in a couple of days, and be well set up for the summer, hopefully. While I'm here, I want to point out this seam, which is pretty cool. After the rudder was built, the wood shrank slightly, and we ended up with a about 1/8 of an inch open seam here. We filled it with putty before we launched, and you can see the wood has already taken up, swelled up, that seam is closed and squeezed all the putty out, so that's a really good thing to see. And you can see similar things on the plank seams behind me, but not quite as extreme. So yeah, she looks really good out of the water. No cracking or anything yet. Everything looks great. So happy to be out for a couple of days, and then we'll be going right back in.
Feel it starting to engage really good. So I am lapping this new prop, this Max prop, onto the tail shaft, and that involves using a abrasive compound. We have this time saver lapping compound that is intended for yellow metals, soft metals. And the idea is that you get a perfect interference fit between the taper on the tail shaft and the hub of the propeller. So I locked the tail shaft inside the boat so that it doesn't spin. And I can feel that this prop is lapping on nicely because it's kind of wanting to suck onto the taper and grab. You can see when I pop it off. Oh, look at that. That's very nice. You can see how uniform the compound is on there. There's no high spots, and I actually think we're probably done. So now we're gonna clean all the lapping compound off, and I am going to do a dry assembly without the keyway in, and I'm gonna mark the forward hub of the propeller on the shaft. And I'll take it apart again, put the keyway in, and make sure that the propeller goes to the up to that same mark, because we want to make sure, since it's a new prop, that the keyway is not proud and holding the propeller from fully engaging on the tail shaft. Uh-oh. So yeah, you can see we didn't get full engagement. I believe that the key is holding the propeller off the shaft, and so I'll go and put it in my vise and take a file and take a little material off of it. Try it again. Got it. That's perfect. Yes, we did.
Is that good?
Yep. There you have it.
I'm interested to see how it feels maneuvering.
Docking, yeah.
You know.
You might notice it. It might be nicer. You'll have a slower idle speed.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Less likely to suck a log in there or something, or maybe more likely. I don't know.
Nice.
It looks great. I think it's a handsome prop. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna move the boat wicked good.
That's the final light I'm gonna install on this boat.
That's the last light?
This is the last light. I'm gonna guess that I installed 40 lights.
So I'm sure that at least some of you have been following the restoration of Tally-Ho's original Capstan. Now that is the huge anchor winch that sits on the foredeck and brings in the chain and anchor. And it is original. It was on the original drawings, and it was on Tally-Ho when she was launched in 1910. I took it off the boat near the beginning of this rebuild, and since then it's been all over the place as I've been trying to find someone capable of restoring it. Finally, I found Keith Rucker, who has the YouTube channel Vintage Machinery, and he has done an amazing job of restoring the Capstan. And a lot of other people have been involved as well, with casting pieces, with design, with motorization, pattern making, but it's looking fantastic and it's on its way here. In fact, a fan of this project volunteered to pick it up from Georgia and drive it across the country to Port Townsend, which is where I am now. And it's on its way. In fact, it's just around the corner. So very soon we're going to have that Capstan here. Oh yeah. Damn. So Capstan is here. Bill is the hero of the day. He drove it all the way from Georgia.
I was happy to do it.
Well, here it is, Tally-Ho's original Capstan, back from Keith Rucker, with a lot of design and mechanical and electrical parts from Dave Webster, Webster's Boat Machinery in the UK, and a new cast top piece from Windy Hill Foundry. And the whole thing looks really fantastic. Amazing to see this thing functional with new parts, cleaned up, and the whole motorization setup just looks amazing. Now this was shipped all assembled to make it easier, but I've got to take it apart, and I was actually just watching some of Keith's videos to remind myself exactly how it all goes together. I want to recommend again that you go and watch all Keith's videos of restoring this. They're really interesting, really well made, and he went through a lot of challenges getting this thing apart and then getting it operational back together again. So they're well worth a watch. I'll leave a link to his channel in the video description. Well, while I've got the Capstan apart like this, it's a good time to explain very briefly how it works and what we've changed, what we've added. So the original part of the Capstan, obviously the drum goes on here, and then the cap piece goes on top. The cap piece doesn't rotate, it's locked in place, but the drum rotates around this shaft, which is also locked in place. Now the drum has this ring gear on the top, and the cap piece has some small gears in it which you put handles in and turn manually. The added motorization consists of this motor, which will be below the deck, a worm drive gearbox which transfers the power to a vertical shaft, and the vertical shaft comes up here. So we added a ring gear to the bottom of the Capstan, to the underside of the kind of skirt at the bottom of the drum there. So that ring gear will be here on the inside, and then this controls the drive shaft, which comes up through this ring. So if I turn this handle, which will also be on deck, you'll see the drive shaft coming out here, the drive gear, and so that engages with the ring gear in the bottom of the Capstan. So when you want to use it under power, you engage this fully, and this bit goes down and shows that it's engaged, and when you want to use it manually or let it run freely, you turn it the other way and this disappears, and then the motor is disengaged. So right now I'm going to continue to take it all apart, take the motor and drive assembly off so that we can pattern and fit the base, and then we can get it all painted. Okay, so our new propeller is installed and I think it looks really good. It's very similar to the old one, really. It's a 4-bladed feathering prop. This one is from Max Prop, the old one was from Very Prop. This one is slightly smaller, just a tiny bit, but it has a smaller hub as well, so it's very in proportion and the actual blade area isn't really that different. It's a 4-bladed feathering propeller, so when you're sailing, the blades feather like this automatically with the pressure of the water, and then it presents much less surface area to slow you down. When you put the engine in gear, the centrifugal force of the prop spinning turns the blades to activate, and it has a different position for forward and reverse gears with a different pitch. You can't adjust the pitch manually from inside the boat. That has to happen with a mechanical adjustment from here. Now, while we had the boat out of the water, we took care of a couple of other little things. We just put some extra anti-foul on some seams. Of course, all the wood is expanding because it's taking up water and pushing the seams out, and the seam compound's cracking a little bit. That's all normal. So we just put a little bit more anti-foul on here and another coat all the way around our waterline. And I'm really excited. The boat should be going back in the water tomorrow, and we should be ready to sail again, hopefully.
Locked. All right, can we test one real quick?
Okay. Sit into it. I'm going aloft for the first time, and I'm installing. Is the autofocus gonna get that? I'm trying to install. All right. I'm about to go aloft for the first time. Bob's been showing me the ropes, and I'm going up there to install this steaming light.
Awesome. And what's the steaming light for?
You know?
Does that go on when the kettle's boiling?
Yeah, once the kettle starts to steam, we don't want to have the loud noise of the whistle, so the lights will go off. This is for when we're under motor power. This light will be on. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go.
Go on.
Okay, one is secure. If you want to just tie me off.
You hear that I'm messing with the boat. How do you get the boat?
These are the lower running backstays. So just because the splice is like high enough up off deck and I can't take them down, I have to, I need enough slack to splice them. Kind of annoying.
Oh, they're going to a winch.
Oh yeah.
So right now we're just heading out of the marina and we've got our new prop spinning away down under the water, and we're going to go out and rev up the engine and see if we can get it up to 2,800 RPM, which is the goal. And if we can do that, it'll mean we've got the right prop gearbox combination. If it's a little bit off, we can adjust it, adjust the pitch underwater, try again. But yeah, hopeful that this will be the fix. Right, Joe?
That's right. All right, boss, let's see what we got.
All right.
Just creep her up. We'll just do a wide open test to start with.
Right, got a long way to go.
We're already at 8 knots.
That feels like that's it.
You feel? Yeah, that's hard against the stop. Wow, we're still over prop though, a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it 2,450 wide open. We're not even getting to 2,500. Yeah, no, that's a big improvement.
But we're still 20% away
But we
from...
still want to get it a little more up, I think. Yeah. We can, with this prop, we can definitely get it. There's no doubt. Yeah, yeah, we're totally within the realm of where we can adjust.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah. Okay, go in. Go in, Brian. Yep. All right, well, yeah, that should be good. Cool. We'll see what we get. All right.
Okay, so we've adjusted our new prop now, and now we're going to go and run it up again and see if that's made all the difference, and see if we can get all the way up to 2,800, or at least close. 2,700 would be just about right. All right. That is 2,700 RPM. Cool. That's it, guys. We did it.
Yeah, did we?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Darn it!
Great. That's awesome. 28?
27.
27.
Which is enough.
We got a freaking warranty on the beta.
So our gearbox propeller issue is finally sorted out. We got up to just under 2,700 RPM, and when we talked to the people at Beta Marine, they said that was perfect. So we're really happy. The boat feels really good under power. I have a lot more range of control now, a much slower idle speed, which is nice. And we're able to get the engine up to full RPM, which means I can get the full power of the engine when I need it. Now, of course, the reason we went with a prop was so we can actually do a sailing trip this summer, and that I'm really excited for. If for some reason over the course of the summer I find it's not working as well as I'd thought and I want to change the gearbox instead of the prop, we can do that later on. We've still got the old prop, and whichever prop I end up not using in the long term, I'll sell and get back some of those costs. But right now, it's really important to me that we actually go somewhere this summer. And so I'm really happy with this solution. Now, aside from dealing with this big issue and hauling the boat out and hauling it in again, there's been a lot of other work going on. Of course, it's really nice to see all the navigation lights up and running. The next big thing that's going to happen is the capstan, and we're going to be talking about that very soon. But for now, thanks a lot for watching, and a massive, massive thank you to everyone who has donated or otherwise supported this project. It does make a huge difference. It means we're able to carry on doing this work, and it means we're able to keep on making and editing these videos. So I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.